Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, welcome, and before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video like this. And hey, drop a comment below telling me who your favorite BABYMONSTER member is, because this conversation is going to get interesting. Now, let's talk about something the internet has been quietly obsessing over, and honestly, it's about time someone sat down and actually explained it properly. Why does Pharita from BABYMONSTER feel like a Disney princess? Not just in a casual, oh she's pretty, kind of way, but genuinely, deeply, almost unnervingly princess-like in a way that goes way beyond just her looks. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why this comparison isn't just a fan exaggeration, it's practically a factual statement. So stick with me, because this gets really good. Let's start from the very beginning, because the origin story of Pharita is literally something out of a fairy tale, and I'm not even being dramatic. Her full name is Pharita Disney, born on August 26, 2005 in Bangkok, Thailand. She grew up in a loving family with her parents and an older brother, and from a very young age, it was obvious this girl was built differently. Before she ever set foot on a K-pop stage, Pharita was already winning. She competed and won first place and the grand prize at the beauty pageant Intermodel Thailand and even participated in the China Chaotong Fashion Festival in 2019, all while still being a child. She was attending the prestigious Rumrudi International School in Bangkok, which is an international school where she polished her already natural English fluency. So even before the K-pop world knew her name, Pharita was already standing in spotlights, already carrying herself with a kind of grace that most people spend years trying to learn. If that's not a Disney princess backstory, I genuinely don't know what is. But here's where the story gets even more cinematic, and this is the part that really stops me in my tracks every time I think about it. In 2020, a teenage Pharita decided to audition for YG Entertainment, one of the most powerful and selective entertainment companies in the entire world. She walked in, took a deep breath, and performed How You Like That by Blackpink, the song of her idol, Lisa. Out of 1,226 applicants, Pharita was the only one who passed. 1 out of 1,226. That number alone should make you stop scrolling and actually think about what that means. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That is a girl who was genuinely destined to be on that stage. She then trained under YG for over 2.5 years, living in a foreign country, far from her family in Thailand, grinding every single day to become the artist she always knew she could be. And that quiet, burning determination underneath a calm, graceful exterior? That's exactly what Disney princesses are made of. Remember, even Cinderella kept working before the magic happened. Now, here's the moment the whole world started paying attention, and this is the hook that absolutely nobody saw coming. When YG Entertainment was introducing BABYMONSTER to the world member by member, Pharita's introduction video dropped on February 13, 2023, and the reaction was immediate. But the most jaw-dropping moment didn't come from fans. It came from Yang Hyun-suk himself, the founder and general producer of YG Entertainment, a man who has seen and trained some of the biggest names in K-pop history. This is a man who doesn't give compliments easily. And yet, when introducing Pharita, he said, and I'm going to let this land properly, Pharita has this look that doesn't seem human. She looks as if she came straight out of a Disney film. A Disney film. Those were his exact words. When the CEO of the company that created Big Bang and Blackpink looks at your artist and the first thing that comes to his mind is Disney Princess, you know something genuinely extraordinary is happening. That quote alone basically started everything, and the internet ran with it for a reason. And let's talk about the visuals, because we have to, because this is a huge part of why the comparison exists and why it keeps coming back. Pharita is the official main visual of BABYMONSTER, a role that is not handed out casually in K-pop. She stands at 171 centimeters with long, graceful proportions and a face that the internet has described as otherworldly, ethereal, and, you guessed it, princess-like, over and over again. Fans online have given her the title of the Princess of the Fifth Generation, which is a massive statement considering how stacked this generation of K-pop is. Her features are refined and elegant, her presence in photos is almost impossibly photogenic, and she moves with a natural fluidity that makes everything she does look effortless. Whether she's on stage performing in front of tens of thousands of fans, or simply walking through an airport in a polished outfit, the word that keeps coming up from people who see her is princess. It's not a label anyone forced, it's just what she radiates, naturally and consistently. But here's what I really want you to understand, because this is the part that separates Pharita from just being a pretty face with a good introduction video. The Disney princess energy isn't just about how she looks. It's about who she is. Disney princesses aren't just beautiful, they're determined, they're kind, they're driven by something bigger than themselves. And Pharita checks every single one of those boxes in a way that is genuinely rare. During her introduction, she spoke about why she left her home country and her family behind to chase this dream, saying, "I came from Thailand, 3,600 kilometers away from here with the dream of becoming a YG artist. That's how precious my dream is, and I want this so badly." That's not just ambition. That's conviction. That's a girl who chose to sacrifice comfort and proximity to her family because she believed so deeply in what she was working toward. And if you've ever watched a Disney film and cried at the moment the princess finally gets to live her dream, you'll understand exactly why those words hit so hard. Now let's fast forward to what she's built since then, because this is where the story goes from fairy tale to full-on empire. BABYMONSTER officially debuted on April 1, 2024 with the mini-album Babymon 7ER and the title track, Sheesh, and Pharita stepped into her role as lead vocalist, main visual, and the group's English spokesperson, meaning she's literally the voice of the group when speaking to a global audience. Their first studio album Drip dropped on November 1, 2024, and Pharita contributed as a lead vocalist on standout tracks like That and Stuck in the Middle, praised specifically for the stability of her high notes during music show performances like M Countdown and Inkigeo. In 2025, BABYMONSTER launched their world tour Hello Monsters, opening at KSPO Dome in Seoul with 20,000 fans in attendance across 2 nights, followed by a Japanese leg that sold an incredible 150,000 tickets. This is not a small story. This is a global takeover. And Pharita, this girl from Bangkok who was one of 1,226, is right at the center of it. Her brand presence is just as impressive. She has been named as an ambassador for Pepsi Asia Pacific, Adidas CNE, Vanilla Company, Google Pixel Japan, McDonald's Hong Kong, and more. She even appeared in campaigns for Moon Boot x Adidas, a collaboration that suits her aesthetic perfectly: luxury, effortless cool, and just a little bit magical. And beyond the glamour, there's something quietly beautiful about who Pharita is off-camera too. In July 2024, BABYMONSTER and the YG Foundation launched a charity campaign through Naver Happy Bean to support children facing hunger and disability, raising 9.9 million Korean won to provide winter coats for 85 children. The group that could have just been focused on going viral chose to show up for the most vulnerable. That's the kind of heart you see in the stories that actually matter. And here's the final piece of this puzzle, the one detail that, for me, ties everything together perfectly. Pharita's representative emoji is the giraffe, tall, graceful, elegant, unlike anything else in the room. Her fans are lovingly called Puris, a name that carries a sweetness that matches her energy completely. Her MBTI is INTP, the quiet thinker, the one who processes everything deeply before speaking, the one who seems calm on the surface but is running 1,000 thoughts at once. She's camera shy. She loves visiting the zoo. She watches anime. She does skincare every morning with Vaseline, moisturizer, and eye cream like she's maintaining actual royalty. She is left-handed, the only left-handed member in BABYMONSTER, which honestly feels like one more detail in a list of things that make her completely, beautifully one of a kind. She's multilingual, fluent in Thai, English, and Korean, with an understanding of Spanish. She plays guitar. She's an award-winning child model. She's a chart-topping K-pop artist. And she was directly called a Disney princess by the CEO of YG Entertainment on record. At what point do we stop calling it a comparison and just accept that it's a description? So there it is. The full picture of why Pharita is giving major Disney princess energy, and why it's not just a cute internet label but actually a deeply accurate reflection of who she is, where she came from, and everything she's becoming. A girl born in Bangkok, who dreamed big enough to leave everything familiar behind, who outshined over 1,000 competitors in a single audition, who was literally called a Disney princess by a K-pop legend, who is now performing in front of tens of thousands of fans across the world and building a legacy in real time. That's not just princess energy. That's the whole kingdom. If you made it to the end of this video, first of all, thank you, it genuinely means everything. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this, share this video with your fellow Curies and BABYMONSTER fans, leave a comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Pharita deserves the Disney Princess title? I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a video. I'll see you in the next one. Crown Annyeong.